Today we're going to be talking about a band named after a famous guy that you've probably all heard of, Galileo Galilei. If you're unfamiliar with Galileo Galilei, not the man, the band, they are the Ano Hana guys, the opening song. Well, today I'm very excited to talk about them because I am a big fan of their music, and I just recently found out something about them that I want to make a video about. I first discovered Galileo through Ano Hana, like I'm sure other people have as well. They did the opening for Ano Hana, and I really liked it. I think it was one of the first instances when I really liked an opening song, so much so that I even learned some of the lyrics, the opening lyrics, and they had a song that really caught my interest, and so much so that I wanted to learn more about them, and I wanted to learn more about their music. So I downloaded their discography and listened to a couple of songs, and let me just say, Portal is a very good record. But prior to listening to Portal, I bought their record Parade on the iTunes store, and I listened to the whole thing. They're all really good songs, but of course none of them were just weren't as good as Portal, as the record Portal. I really recommend you go listen to Portal because it's a fantastic record. Among the tracks on there, the final track, it's called Kanseito, or Control Tower. And but like when I bought it, it had all the track names in Japanese, and then next to it in English it said acoustic, and I never figured out why. Like I went looking for the non-acoustic version, and it took me a long time to actually find it. I didn't even really listen to it to just a couple days ago. But oddly enough, it's available on YouTube. You just type in Kanseito. So there's the acoustic version of Kanseito, and it's very good. It's really good. It kind of sticks out from the rest of the album, but it's the final song, so it kind of makes sense that it's there. But it's a really good song. It's so good. It's so good. Let me tell you that it has a movie. The song inspired a film, and that is very cool. So, to talk about the movie, how I discovered it, Alright, so I watched the Ano Hana live action. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty good. Quick thoughts on it was, it had some more emotional moments, I think, from compared to the anime. But there was also like really weird cutting, or like weird things that just kind of happen, and like you know that these things happen in the anime, but you don't know how they happen in the show. They kind of just show up, and you're just kind of expected to just go along with it. I mean, because they happen in the anime, right? So anyways, I watched it. It was pretty good. I liked it a lot. And then I remember I was in a pretty good Japanese drama type of mood, so I remember that there was the Ishukan Friends movie that I wanted to check out as well. So I think I had seen like a link for it on YouTube, and I went to go look for it, but it was only the opening. And as I'm going through, I find the Kanseito movie, but it was labeled as Control Tower because that's what Kanseito means. And I was like, oh, that sounds interesting, and I clicked on it, and I remember immediately the song Kanseito, and I kind of just just let it play for like a second, and it was like, oh, it's a movie, but I didn't really get it at first. And then I left, and I think I came back, and the movie was still playing, and I like sat down and looked it up really quick, and it's like, oh, Galileo Galilei. So I was like, oh. So I sat down and I watched it, and it was really good. It was really good. There's like instances throughout the movie where you can see that Kanseito is being composed, but you don't really know what's going on. Oh, and for the record, I plan on spoiling this movie. But I recommend you go watch it anyways. You can leave this video and go watch it. It's on YouTube, so just type in Control Tower, the movie, and you'll be able to find the fan sub of the film. And if you like it enough, go buy it, because it's good. It's really good. But the premise of the film, okay, it takes place in Hokkaido in Japan, which is like the northern parts of the country, and it's in like a rural town where it's just covered in a blanket of snow. It looks kind of like a miserable place to live, honestly. There's a boy, he's listening to music on his headphones, and he walks to school, and then there's a new girl that gets introduced to the class, and she's a transfer student. Girls try to go talk to her, and she shows no interest, but she shows interest in our main character. The two of them end up forming a band together after she reveals that she can play some piano and that he found a guitar. He found his dad's guitar.
無理だよ無理。
真似するさっさとはい。ねえ、もう抑えてるとこ全然違う
無理だよ。
The two of them start making music, and then they start playing at a local town. We find out that the girl, she doesn't have like the best life, and but Takeru is kind of like her coping mechanism.
Orange who? Orange, glad I didn't say. Orange, glad I didn't say. Orange, glad I didn't say. Orange, glad I didn't say banana.
And so the two of them hang out, and they have such a great time, and they start making music, and he starts writing Kanseito, but doesn't really have, like, he starts writing the lyrics, but he doesn't have like the central theme of the song. And then one day I think that they're riding on a bus, and they see the control tower, the town's control tower. And she's like, what's that? And he's like, oh, it's the control tower. So she's like, I want to go see it. So they go see it. And then they start talking about how, like, Japan is supposed to be the start of where the world starts, I guess. It sounds familiar. I remember hearing something about that's how the land of the rising sun saying began.
ここはさ、日本の最果てだけど、世界の果てってあるのかな?
Yeah, so they talk about that, and then they're like, well, if the world starts here, how would we know where it begins, I guess? I don't know, like, it's such a vast area. And so I think Takeru looks at the control tower, and he's like, the control tower, that's gonna be our thing. The control tower, it's gonna be where our dreams begin, and the world as well, right? And it's like, it's a little difficult to explain because you would have to know some Japanese, but the song Kanseito is just about that. It's about two people declaring that their future and their dreams begin at the top of this control tower, and with it they have a paper airplane that they launch into into the sea, and that is their dreams. Yeah, so basically the entire movie is just Kanseito, the song put into a movie, and like, because it's a movie about two people, I wasn't at first certain if this was like how Galileo Galilei began, or there was gonna be like a final scene where like the two of them come together, and it we don't get that. But what we get instead is this emotional ending where the girl leaves, but Takeru decides to go on without her, but keeping her here the entire time. And he sings the song Kanseito in front of the crowd that he normally would play with me. And yeah, it's a pretty good movie. And really, the whole focus of this video is to just bring light to one of my favorite bands. A band that no longer exists, but they have this whole catalog of wonderful music that's sung in a different language. But it's still good. It's still really, really enjoyable to listen to. And with that, I'll go ahead and recommend some more songs. I recommend Imaginary Friends, Good Shoes, Aoi Shiori, if you haven't heard that one, Kanseito, Boku Kara Kimi e, or From Me to You, and Circle Game. Circle Game is another song that was used for another Ano Hana project. Go ahead and check out Galileo Galilei and go watch Kanseito. I saw it on YouTube. It's an hour and 10 minutes, and it's over before you even realize, but it's still a ride. Kanseito!